Good morning, folks. If you missed yesterday's video, picked a bad day to miss. We broke down the coronal hole connection to every 8 magnitude quake since 2007. It's when the coronal holes began trespassing on lower latitudes. I gave a few micro and macro mechanism possibilities, but I want to isolate this one for discussion today. Coronal holes not only allow the outward solar force to be unrestrained, but the umbral openings fire Alfvén waves. These are known to be made by quakes, but also speculated to be a potential cause via resonance in electrically conductive strata and other subsurface pathways. One of the primary reasons coronal holes are appearing larger and closer to the equator is the weakening of the umbral magnetic fields, fading on Sun just as in Earth's magnetosphere. Less umbras means less restriction for the Sun's outward force and those Alfvén waves. FYI, the umbral weakening is so significant that NASA is concerned over another Maunder-type event, and some National Solar Observatory scientists have even said we could see a spotless solar cycle 25. This tracks our video called The Next Ice Age. Two nuclear issues. First, a steam leak at the Perry nuclear plant caused a shutdown. Then, at Fukushima, the radioactive filters are leaking the radioactivity back out. The site of one of history's worst disasters still struggling. Good Earth Observatory article linked here about groundwater retention, not just subsurface but further down at root level. Got two tropical lows to check, first one building strength and set to take a whack at the Japan coastline in a few days. The other is a depression that will likely die out over the mountains of Mexico. Flooding in Otago, New Zealand. Been trained on the low headed there for a while. Unfortunately, after a short break in the rain, there may be more flooding coming soon. Remember that low I showed cresting Spain and Portugal yesterday? Well, it's at France now, dropping major damage in isolated pockets as the Mediterranean moisture changes energy north and atop higher elevations to bring major threats as it moves east today. Without well-specified pressure peaks, the storms are popping up all across the U.S. at sundown. Tonight will be no different with a lot of rain in store. Solar wind becoming a little iffy the other direction. Speed troughs under 300 is indicative of that weaker sun. Magnetometers holding steady, but there is energetic flux. Hold that thought. Flaring is slowly creeping higher for yet another day, taking his time climbing the ladder as nearly the entire southeastern quadrant is covered in sunspots. There appears to be some development, some decay, and some mixing. Most of the beta polarity is still well divided. In fact, the lone danger zone for larger flares is still trailing on the south. Got both polarity umbras within the same penumbra. We call it a delta spot. As you can see just behind the limb, there are more active regions waiting to crest into view, much more active on the backside as well. Primary magnetic connection to our star is dead center on the north. She's unlikely to remain static with the coronal hole set to intrude into her space. Folks, we are 36 hours of relative earthquake quiet after a significant uptick in quakes to start the watch. We often see this cool down in the middle of the watches, especially with multiple coronal holes like we have now. Let's hope that first uptick is all we'll get. Eyes open. No fear. It's 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.